What is up? It is Wednesday, it is 8 PM UK time. I am Elliot Upton. This is the Ultimate Performance Live Q&A. As always, we are recording it for YouTube. If you don't get a chance to watch this the whole way through, remember, go over to my YouTube channel, Elliot Upton, and you can watch the whole thing in its entirety, watching all the questions come up. Good evening, people coming in, Mark. We have this perfect hour-long piece of knowledge bombs that will see you through your cardio. So check out what I will do to start with. While we've got people coming in, I'm going to throw my thumbs up every now and then when people are saying hi, but we'll go through the really common questions right now so you can see it. Number one, how much more water should you drink a day? Women 3 to 4 litres, men 4 to 6 litres. Number two, ketosis, is it useful for body composition? No, ketosis in my mind is a massive fad trend at the moment. It's not useful for body composition for 95% of people because it is executed incorrectly. It's a very easy way to sell a dietary approach. If I tell you you can eat bacon and drink cream, you're gonna do it. Intermittent fasting, is it useful for body composition? Again, not in my experience. For some people, a very small percentage of the population, it can be very useful. Again, like ketosis, it is more useful for medical conditions and overcoming certain things with that, so do bear that in mind. Other things that are over on the YouTube channel right now, if you need to see it, we have a full dynamic warm-up which I posted on the YouTube channel. We have a few very raw edits of one piece of equipment only workouts over on that YouTube channel as well, so go and check that out. They will be edited properly very soon and they will be coming up. Loads of you coming in. I'm going to quickly check in and I'm going to make sure no one's asked me a question yet that I've missed while I've been waffling on and covering the basics. No, it's got lots of people asking questions. Awesome. So go on ahead. If I start to bleed a little bit, I do apologise. Blood, sweat and tears are going into this, or I just cut myself shaving, which is the most likely. Jelly Bean, vegan veggie tips on diet as I don't want too many carbs, cats, not eating animal protein. I've become weaker, but I don't think I'm getting it right. Honestly, Jelly Bean, when people ask me for tips on being vegan, on how to get in shape, I tell them to eat meat. It's as simple as that. I know that's not necessarily helpful, but you are fighting a major uphill battle, trying to get in shape and trying to optimize your health by taking a vegan diet. Now, I know for certain morality reasons and certain principles that some of you may hold very dear, being a vegan, a vegetarian, whatever, may be the right thing for you to do mentally. From a physiological point of view, from a physical point of view, it is not the right thing. It's not that good for you, in my opinion. That's not the opinion of UP. My opinion, it's not that good for you. If you genuinely want to get in shape, start eating meat. If not, we do have a few trainers within the business who are very good with vegans. I don't personally take vegans on. It's not something I've ever done in my career. I tell people to eat meat. But we do have some trainers who are very good with vegans. So if you need specific advice, then by all means, you can go to upfitness.com and you can register for one-to-one online training and you will be assigned to one of these trainers who will be able to help out. Where's my closest London gym? It depends where. In London, we have our City Gym, which is in Paul Street, near Old Street Station. We have our Mayfair Gym, which is just on, just behind the Grosvenor Hotel, just behind Park Lane. That is on Park Street, number 12 Park Street, I believe. And we have our new site in High Street, Kensington. So you have a few options in London. Lorraine, hello. Gita, hello. Plenty of you coming in, a lot of people I know. What is the best form of probiotic? When you're looking for a good probiotic, 3 things you need to really check is, number 1, is it still alive? Is it still live, active probiotic? Number 2, is it a large variance of spores? Has it got a lot of different types of bacteria in it? Number 3, how much is in it? For me, the best one I've ever tried is a medical grade probiotic called VSL, but there are a number of products out there. I believe our own probiotic may well be on the website by now. I don't know if it's been released yet, but that kind of covers all bases. So if it is on now, we'll have to check on that. I'm not 100% sure. Go to upfitness.com and get yourself some of ours. As you know, with all of our products, they are engineered towards our clients. Now, our clients often, money is less of an object to our clients than a lot of people. Now, that's no secret. Our rates are not the lowest, but our quality is without doubt the highest, and everything we give to our clients reflects that. So one thing I will say when buying supplements is do not try to save money there. If you're trying to save money, it's a false economy. Eventually, it's all just going to come crumbling down. Loads of you coming in. I'm just going to take a quick drink. Azzy, hello again, Azzy. Thomas Delauer, makes some really interesting and persuading points with regards to fasting for health reasons. What are your argument against health benefits? There aren't any, Azzy. If you literally look at the very beginning of this video, the first thing I said was about intermittent fasting and ketosis and how they have great medical uses in overcoming certain conditions. However, from a body composition point of view, I've almost never seen them work. And I can almost 100% guarantee that Thomas DeLauer doesn't use ketosis. That amount of size, that amount of strength, that shape, and how consistently he is in that shape, that's not a ketosis kind of guy. Guarantee it. However, he's a very, very intelligent guy. He's very, very good. He puts across a lot of information. Just take some of it with a pinch of salt when it comes to body composition. Rather than go through it again, because this is something that comes up on every single live feed, you can jump right back to the beginning of this live feed where I said my thoughts on ketosis and intermittent fasting. From a body composition point of view, I'd suggest that most of you throw them out of the window. If you have specific medical issues that they can help, then by all means use them. Why don't UP use drop sets? We do use drop sets with the right client at the right time. However, we don't tend to recommend drop sets to most average Joes because they're not going to recover fast enough and they don't have the ability to lift correctly to that degree, especially past the point of failure. Hiya, thanks for the weights over HIT advice last week. Focused on heavy weights, like you said, and used HIT to supplement. Feeling DOMS for the first time in a long time. Good sign. Good. Glad to hear it. Yeah, you have to lift heavy if you want to elicit a training response. If you're not lifting heavy, you're not going to get a response out of it. Obviously, you need tension on the muscle, but you need to find that relationship between the two. We have the new school and old school of training. The old school used to just be heavy and hard. The new school is all about tension. The problem is, this means that a lot of the new school science trainers are tiny, weak and shit, whereas a lot of the old school trainers are strong as hell but injured. So you need to find that point in the middle. Lift a heavy weight under tension, proper tension. DOMS is not necessarily a sign of a good workout, it's just a sign that there is some kind of muscular damage, it's a byproduct of that damage. So, just because you're not hurting doesn't mean you didn't have a good workout. Duan, is it okay to do Tabata 3 times a week? Yes, absolutely it is. Went to Kensington today, awesome setup. Lovely, all of our gyms are, Also, thanks for being so consistent with the live streams, you're most welcome. Look at this little kink in my hair, what's going on there? I hope everyone enjoys the varying hairstyles of Elliot Upton on these live feeds. Who knows? Hello, I'll be in Hello magazine soon, my hairstyles, I'm sure. Obviously, hi Meg. Make sure you're getting to bed early, Meg. When you come off a cut of 800 calorie deficit, how much should you increase calories each week by? 200, for example. I would actually go up about 100 a week, Cam, and just watch your body as it goes. If you start to soften, hold there steadily, and then wait until you start to lean out again, then take it back up. Apple cider vinegar, question mark. What do you want to know about it? Apple cider vinegar, question mark, is not a question. Loads going. Chris, hello. Deb Louise, is it true the more water to drink, the more you can lose weight, or is it a myth? It's not technically, that's a little bit inaccurate. However, if you are not drinking water, then you're probably not going to lose any fat. So you do need to be hydrated. As I said at the very beginning of this video, between 4 and 6 litres for most people per day is about right. If it was as easy as that, just to drink more water, and you would suddenly lose a load of fat, then everybody would be super hydrated at all times and shredded. Jenny Stokes, hello, and hi UP Fitness. UP Fitness and me say hello to you, Jenny Stokes. Azzy, favourite hamstring exercise, Romanian deadlift, heavy. Hello. Amin, hello. Hey, hello. Thoughts on foam rollers? Insta James, they are tools of the devil. They hurt a lot, especially the hard ones. I have my little roller down there just beside my desk that I sit on every night, try and get my calves done. Incredibly useful, something that every single person in this forum who trains or does not train or has any issues with ailments or injuries should be doing twice per day, every single day. Again, if you go over to my YouTube channel, Elliot Upton, you will see a little mobility drill that I do before my training sessions, and within that are the muscles that I choose to use when I hit my foam roller, the ones that I feel are more effective for actually getting everything right. Bob, loving the exercise execution videos, been reposted them. Thank you, Bob, hopefully they are useful. I'm actually flying to London tomorrow, so you may have a few quiet days on them. I may do a few in my hotel room, and obviously I'm going to try to pop into the London gyms as well, so maybe able to get some done there. I'm going to be moving around a little bit over the next couple of weeks, but I will still try to get plenty to you. I want to lose weight, I've been trying, but it won't work. What have you been trying, Jess? Ben Maher, how many times a week should you train the same muscle group? Depends on your recovery and genetics. I would suggest for 99% of people, unless you're the genetic elite, training it twice per week is about the maximum you would ever want to do. Now, don't get me wrong, there are a few people who may be able to do more than that, and it also depends somewhat on the volume with which you train per session. You know, if you're doing 3 sets per muscle group per session, maybe you can train it 3 or 4 times a week. However, if you're doing 12 sets per session, twice a week is probably too much. Cass, best exercise to get rid of bingo wings. Exercising some dietary restraint would be the one. Getting rid of bingo wings is not down to exercise. Getting rid of bingo wings is about getting rid of fat. Getting rid of fat is about getting your diet in check. Foam rolling my IT band almost makes me cry like a baby. It's horrendous, but very, very useful. Needs to be done. Leanne Hinton, any tips on the best cardio to do to help with weight loss? The best cardio to do is weight training intensely. You may not want to hear that, but if you genuinely want to drop body fat, then your best bet is 3 to 4 heavy, intense, full body weight training sessions per week. Now, depending on your ability, that can be a GBC style workout. If you're relatively new to a gym, something like circuit training, weights training, but circuited is often very, very useful. Beyond that, high intensity interval training such as sprints should be supplemental, maybe twice per week. And steady state cardio or general activity, you know, walking around, going for a bike ride, etc., that can be done kind of at any time, but should always be put, and you know, if you're short for time, that should always be your third choice. Elliot, I've been getting neck cramps a lot recently. Any way of foam rolling the neck, other ways to fix soreness when turning my head? If you can, Chris, get some topical magnesium, some magnesium cream, and rub it on the areas and stretch. You know, easiest way, arm behind your back, like that, grab the head and pull down. Same the other way. Squats, bum to floor or parallel, which would you recommend? Ped linen, it depends very, very much on your own mechanics. Everybody is different, depends on the length of your legs, depends on the length of your torso. I would always suggest going below parallel. If you try to stop at parallel, the first thing that's going to happen is a massive shearing force on the knees. Secondly, it's potentially going to hurt your back. Thirdly, it makes you a bit of a pussy because you're choosing not to go ass to grass. But on the whole, some people are going to be able to go, you know, look at Olympic lifters. Olympic lifters can squat genuinely ass to grass. Their ass is probably 3 inches off the floor. However, unless you're built exactly like that genetic elite, you're not getting down there. But you certainly should be trying to get below parallel as deep as you can without getting too much of a butt wink. Nice, I'll be at Kensington tomorrow and Friday on a course. Be good to catch me. I may be in there, I may not. We will see. Elliot, more tan by the week. I won't be next week because I'm going back to England, so we'll see how that goes. God damn this hair, man. Nick's book says full body workout 4 days a week, but you said don't train muscle groups more than twice a week. Ian Burns, did you listen to the rest of what I said there? If so, please tell me what I said. Lorraine Jepson, new UP book being delivered tomorrow. Can't wait. It's a good one. We're getting some amazing reviews on that book. Those of you who don't know already, a lot of you, unless you were sleeping under a rock, you will have seen the Principles of Muscle Building book. Went absolutely crazy, sold out everywhere. Amazing book. The second book in that series is now out. And it is how to prepare your own meal plans, how to get lean, how to basically develop your own diets, including recipes, etc. That's just come out. Now, if you haven't already ordered that, then you can go to Amazon, you can find it, and I believe it will be ready to be delivered on Amazon on the 15th. Those people who have already got their books now, they pre-ordered. So if you want the next 2 in this volume, it's a series of 4 books, they pre-ordered. Make sure you get onto the website, you subscribe to the mailing list, and you put your name down for pre-ordering, and you will get them probably a month at least before everybody else. Well worth it. Get on over there. Flounder. Evening, Elliot. Hope all is well. Quick question. The gym I have started working has limited equipment. Any out-of-the-box exercise for hip, adduction, abduction, general hip strength. Just get yourself a band, a glute band, and that's more than enough. If you haven't got equipment, that's something you can carry in your pocket if you need to, and it's going to be more than enough to work your abductors and adductors. What are must-take supplements other than protein for maximizing muscle mass? There aren't any must-take supplements for maximizing muscle mass. The must-take thing for maximizing muscle mass is number 1, progressive overload in your training, always aiming to lift heavier. Number 2, keeping your diet consistently in check, high protein and full of nutrients. It's not as simple as calories. A lot of people, you know, with this classic kind of bulking mentality, just want to load up on calories and they expect that they're going to get something out of it. It's not that simple. You have to be full of nutrients. So Try and forget, let go of supplements. It's not about supplements. A lot of you here, this is why we don't push them, we don't advertise them in the way that every supplement company advertises, because the fact is, all of you out there, every single one of you, whether you're here on YouTube watching this second time or you're here on Instagram, you have a massive over-reliance on supplements because you are lazy. Okay, it hurts, but it's the truth. You think that there is a supplement to fix everything. The reality of it is, if you want to gain muscle, you need to eat a lot of food, a lot of nutrient-dense food, and you need to do it consistently over a long period of time, and then you have to progressively train. Stop looking for magic supplements. They do not exist. Injured and unable to do weights for 6 weeks. To keep dropping fat, should I reduce calories further and keep protein high? Yeah, it's probably a good approach, should we say. Hamza, client struggling to arch lower back or get into position for correct deadlift and rowing movements. What to do? Check hamstring mobility. The hamstrings may be too tight. Week 8 of my transformation at UP Kensington and loving my journey. Awesome, Mina. My trainer is supportive and works me to the limit every time. That is exactly what we want of UP trainers, so I'm glad to hear you're having an amazing experience with us. Lisa, what's the best workout to get rid of excess baby fat around the abdomen? There isn't a best workout, Lisa. If you want to get rid of fat, if fat loss is your goal, then diet should be your main key factor. It should be the thing that you are putting all of your attention to. It should be consistent at all times. You should be eating a lot of nutrient-dense food, between 3 and 5 meals per day. You should not be drinking alcohol. You should not be drinking sodas. You should not be having shit food in any way, anything that isn't nutrient-dense. That's basically your answer to that. With regards to, generalizing the workouts, again, you should be doing full-body, highly intense, heavy workouts, providing you've got past that 12-week period after your birth. Do they sell the books in the gym? Some gyms, I believe, will have them in stock. Most of the UK gyms certainly will. We don't have them yet in Marbella. They're somewhere in the Spanish Postal Service, which means they could be here sometime by 2019. Fingers crossed for that. Struggling to do chin-ups, any advice? Stick at it. Depends how hard you're struggling. Number one, you can use assistance, i.e. a band, something like that, or an assisted machine. The other approach, which I really like, is starting at the top and slowly lowering yourself down as slow as possible. Over a period of weeks, you'll get better and better and better at that, and eventually you'll be able to pull yourself up. That's the simplest way to do it. What are the other books covering? One of them is female-specific training, and the other one, I won't be able to tell you right now because I have forgotten. Tom Carr, I'm eating 1,000 calories a day as a teenager. Is that enough? And I'm likely to put on any weight. Tom Carr, no, it's not enough. Eat more. I got my UP2 book today, almost read it, just as great as the first book. Awesome, thank you, Armand, glad to hear that. Sorry, another question, no problem, this is what I'm here for. Questions, when I start to cut, how long should I cut for? Until you're lean, basically. Lisa, you're welcome. Billy Bobby, bang bang, hello again. Rua Magician, what's up? Made your satay chicken today after seeing it last night, beautiful. It was all right, wasn't it? It's not bad, and especially, the satay chicken that I put, for anyone who hasn't seen that, it should just about still be on my chat, both on my personal profile and the @LiveUpOnline profile. Satay chicken that was perfectly Live Up Online plan friendly. I'm actually going to make it again after we have done this live feed because I still have to get a meal in. So I'm going to smash that down and I'm going to enjoy every bit of it. If I eat more, will I appear leaner? Potentially, Tom Carr. If you're a teenager, you're a growing human, a growing man, and you're eating 1,000 calories per day, you're not going to grow properly and you're going to feel like turd. So eat more. Your body wants to thrive, it likes food. If you are fitness conscious, if you want to be strong and you want to look good, then eat food, your body needs it. What are your thoughts on push-pull leg splits? A great split, give it a go. Jashman, hello. How to avoid hormonal damage for females when dieting hard? Don't diet them hard, diet them intelligently. This is something I've had this argument with many physique competitors. Now, for 10 years, I've refused point blank to have any involvement in fitness competitions, especially dieting females for them, because it's the most irresponsible, idiotic thing I've ever seen in the fitness industry. These people put themselves in hospital, they destroy their fertility, all of these things because they diet too hard. If you're intelligent, and especially if you have a client, give yourself a bigger lead time. Take your time getting them down there. Don't crash diet people. Start them off with a lot of food and gradually take stuff away and look at what happens with the body. If the body starts to push back against you, you need to give more food. The reality of it is, you need to consider, there's a video on my profile that I put up probably about 6 months ago, so you may have to scroll down a bit. The way I see health and body composition is it's not as simple as, I want to be in shape. You need to consider shape, you need to consider health, you need to consider performance. if you can get those 3 variables nailed, then you are going to get a great transformation and you're going to be able to stay there. And this is what most people can't do. They crash diet like an absolute animal. Trust me, I've been there in the past. I've had a trainer in the past and I crash dieted. It certainly seemed like a crash diet, and it has made me suffer since for years, and I cannot recover. No matter what I try, I cannot recover. Now, this is down to something that happened a good few years ago, and it's one of those things, but you have to be careful. Don't try to diet people hard if you can help it. Diet them intelligently, especially females. Thanks for the advice and the new UP book, outstanding, awesome. For those of you just joining who don't know about the UP book, it's the meal planning book. It's the second in the series, so get on over to Amazon and check that out. There is a few links, I believe, on my personal profile, or you can go over to the UP Fitness main page, the one that you're on, and hit the links there. It should take you, hit link in our bio, it should take you straight over to the book on Instagram, Amazon. Try Amazon. Does the 30-day ab challenge work? No, it does not, Swear Jar. What the 30-day ab challenge, what the 30-day squat challenge, what the 30-day push-up challenge, any of these challenges does do is makes you move, and it makes you exercise, it gives you a goal, and it makes you do something consistently so you create a habit. That is more what they are there for, less so about, about actually getting in shape. It's about creating new habits, which is very, very useful. And although no, they don't work to get you a 6-pack, what they do is create good habits, and I'm all for that. I'm 100% for that. What do you think of muscle food from meat order, or can you recommend somewhere else? Fine supermarket chicken breast, need a lot of rubbish bits cutting off. Jock, I can't tell you, to be honest. I personally actually asked Muscle Foods to send out some meat here, like Athlete used to do, because the meat in Spain is terrible, and they refused point blank and were most unhelpful to me personally. So I don't know, I've not had any dealings with them. I know a lot of people who use them, so I would assume they're probably okay, but I don't know whether that's just sponsorship. My personal experience with them was not great. They were extremely dismissive. Even if they can't do it, I would have preferred a bit more manners, but give them a try, let me know. Is 46 underweight for a 13-year-old? No, it's not, Tom Carr, not at all. I wouldn't imagine so. Are there still spots available for the Marbella Bootcamp in October? I'm very tempted if I can make it. Where can I find the details online? Yes, Chris, if you go to the website upfitness.com and go to the events section, go into the events section and it should be there. And there should still be spaces, yes. That will be run by one of my colleagues from the UK, Nick Daniel. You'll have great fun. If you had to choose, would you recommend the UP Fitness Live program or the Ultimate Body Transformation Plan by Nick Mitchell? UP Fitness Live, basically. Reason being is that, both programs are going to be absolutely awesome. Both of them are going to be full of education. You're going to get the chance to learn how to do things yourself. The difference with the Live Up program is that you have access to the online forums. You have a massive support community there that is run by me personally. Secondly, for the first 12 weeks of that program at least, you have check-ins with me personally every single Sunday. That may change fairly soon because it's getting that busy now that I'm going to need to take on a few more of our very, very capable trainers to help me with the check-ins. But you have the accountability, you have some adjustability, and you have someone with experience leading you down the right path with the Live Up online programs. So they're very different products, Thoughts on fat-free dieting for fat loss? If it works for you, then there's no problem with it. Some people work better with fats, some people work better without fats. Last question, I promise. How lean do you think I could get to? I'm 57. I've had 55 to 60-year-old people get down to 7-8% relatively easily. It just takes time and consistency. But you've also got to remember, Andrew, is that genetics are everything. Never compare yourself to anyone else, but there's no reason you can't be sub 10 if you're working hard and you're very, very consistent with it. Jashman, views on protein bars. Protein bars are something that most people are just bloody lazy and they don't prepare their food or they get caught short. I'm not a fan of anything personally. Anything that is a product, I don't like. And I wouldn't give to a client. So for instance, one of the main rules that I say to my clients and to everyone on the Live Up program is that understand the difference between a food and a product. A food is a single ingredient. It's something that products can be made up of. However, if you take something off a shelf or you buy something from a shop or you eat something that is a product, i.e. something has been done to it before it's got to you, don't eat it because you don't know what's in it. The chances are it's not going to do you any good. So protein bars, not a fan of them. Zach Taylor, big fan. However, all of you are pretty clueless on marathon, triathlon, Ironman plans. Zach Taylor, because that's not what we do. What we do is we train people for strength and body composition. Now, if you know anything about what you've just said, what you will also know, and I can back this up with, I'm going to say 15 client testimonials probably, is that by making someone stronger, they will probably cut a half an hour to an hour off of their time. Let's say someone's running in a 4.5, they're probably going to run in somewhere in the 3s if you teach them how to be strong. So before you come on and call people clueless, I suggest you do your research on the sort of stuff that we've achieved. 43 kilos underweight for a 13-year-old. You've asked me that already. Does fat loss slow down at an older age for men? A client at 50 looking to get as lean as possible, what to take into consideration? It does, unfortunately. What tends to happen, you've got a bunch of things happening. Number one, your thyroid is slowing down. Number two, you have less muscle mass. Your cell reproduction has actually started to reverse. So you get to a point in life, you know, for instance, from a baby to, let's say, middle age, wherever that happens to be for each person, is that your cells are reproducing quicker than they are dying. Now, unfortunately, we all get to a part of life where our cells start to die faster than they're being reproduced. Now, the older you get, obviously, the faster that's happening, which is a real problem. Secondly, you need to understand that the older someone is, the chances are that their testosterone levels are considerably lower, therefore they're not going to burn fat as easily, they're not going to build muscle as easily. Third, digestive systems tend to have taken a bit of a beating by old age, so food choices may have to be different. Finally, muscle contractions, ligaments, tendons, bone structures can be slightly damaged, so you have to consider training as well. Often with older clients that I've got transformations out of, tempo is the number one variable to be using in training. Slow that tempo right down to develop masses and masses of tension, because what you don't necessarily want to be doing is loading an older client too soon. Yes, they can still get super strong. You just have to be considerate about how much load you put on somebody who isn't recovering at the same speed. What ab exercises should be avoided if you have ab separation after pregnancy? Depends how bad it is, and how if you have had a baby, you know, a long time ago, there's nothing you're going to do about it. Unfortunately, if your diastasis recti, which is the ab splitting, has not come back together, nothing's putting it back together. Unfortunately, surgery may help, but it's still not going to do it properly. The key is here, and a lot of pregnant women, a lot of people postpartum choose to try and get into training way faster than they should. Now, I say to all clients, past, present, and future, is wait 12 weeks. When you are ready, be active, you know, go for a walk, have a bit of a swim, something like that. But do not, under any circumstances, get in the gym, and certainly don't do any abdominal exercises for a minimum of 12 weeks. Once you pass that 12-week mark, you can do stability stuff, practice drawing in maneuvers, actually teaching your core how to work again. Once you're confident that you've got good at that, you can start static stuff, things like planking, and then when you know that, you know, your doctor will check, when you know that the abdominal wall has come back together, then you can start concentric ab training. That takes time. Unfortunately, if it hasn't come back together, it's not going to come back together. So this is it's one of those things. Don't use muscle food. I use Athlete, much better quality in my opinion. I also used to use Athlete. They provide an amazing service. They also used to send them out here to me, bless. I used to get 200 or 300 pounds worth of meat sent out at a time. Unfortunately, this is no fault of Athletes. They were always extremely good, and the service was incredible. Every single time the meat got to me, because of the way the Spanish deal with their post, it was half cooked, because instead of putting, despite having refrigerate all over the box, the Spanish were putting it 6 to 8 hours in transit in a normal van. So by the time it got to me, it was actually warm and all the meat was rotten. It's a real shame. Carlin, hello. With hypertrophy as the goal and training first thing in the morning, would you have carbs or meat, nuts, and breakfast? Poliquin, love these videos. It depends on how lean you are. If you have fat to lose, then I often wouldn't suggest having carbs before training. If you're training first thing in the morning and it's hypertrophy is your goal, you're not that lean, then have carbs the night before. That would be your better bet, because it's going to help you sleep, it's going to help you recover. The better you're recovering, the faster you're going to grow. Wouldn't necessarily have it before though. Lisa, just another quick question. I've always struggled to run, I always struggled to breathe. Is there ways to sort this out? I'm only 5'2" and slim build, so it's not weight related. I mean, I'm not a fan of running anyway, but stick at it is the best thing. You need to train your lungs and your respiratory system in exactly the same way that you train any other muscle. You have to start pushing through walls, pushing through barriers, so your body can adapt to it, so give that time. Can't recommend Live Up enough. No bull at all. Awesome. Thank you for that, Carlin Blows. For those of you, when you see people pop up with Live Up, whether here on Instagram or on YouTube, you can go to upfitness.com, go to the online training section, and you can see Live Up for men, Live Up for women. These are our lowest cost programs ever. 3 training days a week, 2 interval days a week, and some cardio, cardio as and when you can do it. Full dietary advice and supplement breakdown. It is a pre-made program that is adjusted along the way, but it's £50 per month. It's not customized one-to-one online training, but it's working. It's getting transformations like you wouldn't believe. So get on over there and check that out. Tom Carr, I build muscle and keep the same body fat. Will I look leaner? You certainly will, yes. Do you need trainers in Marbella, and is Spanish language needed? Spanish language is not necessary. Yes, we are looking for trainers in Marbella at the moment currently. Ideally, we need 2 female trainers. But if you are male and you think you have what it takes to be a part of the UP team, then go over to the website, go to the recruitment section, which I believe is down at the very bottom of the website. Go to the recruitment section, send in a covering letter and CV, and we will take a look at it. How do you get rid of belly overhang? I had a C-section 3 years ago. I'm really struggling to get rid of it. Melissa, get leaner would be the one to start with. Get leaner. If you get leaner and you are full of nutrients, you're taking in plenty of nutrients, then you will find that gets a lot better. I'll put a picture up of one of our amazing Live Up girls in the next couple of days, whose transformation, not only has she got a lot leaner, looks amazing, but she was malnourished basically before. Her thyroid wasn't working. She was malnourished because she was trying to diet too hard. It was doing her no good. And she's another really, really beautiful example of why nourishing your body and giving enough of the micronutrients that it needs is exactly what your body needs to sort out things like skin. So many of you females out there fall for these mad surgeries and cosmetic procedures and put a needle in this and jab something in there and rip this off and put spikes in that or whatever. The reality of it is almost everything that happens with your body, internally and externally, can be remedied with the correct food. We have fruit, peppermint or black teas in the live UP, as coffee is a no-no. I've got no issue with you having things like green tea. It's not a problem. Don't obviously go too overboard in any stuff like that because it's still a stimulant. The reason coffee is a no-no is because it just overly stimulates your adrenal glands, and for most people that's a major problem, myself included. So, do you recommend the same food plan with the same meals or a plan with more variety for fat loss? Depends on the client, basically, Hamza. Some people need a much more varied approach, and I would recommend that because it means you're going to get varied nutrients. You're not going to, get stale, get bored. You're not likely to lack in anything. However, some clients get intimidated by the fact that they have to do more work for something like that. So there's a fly flying around in my light, and it's really doing my head in. Hiya, any advice for aching muscles after... Come here, little thing. Any advice for aching muscles after a body pump class? Walking like a tin man isn't the best. Get regular massages if you can. Do 5 to 10 minutes stretching after the class if possible, and jump in a hot bath with lots of Epsom salts, and that should help you out. Tom Carr, what would you say is the right amount of calories for a teen and what amount of body fat? That is not an answer that I can give you, Tom, because there are too many variables. What I would certainly say is that if you are a teenager, if you are a 13-year-old boy and you're concerning yourself with how many calories that you're eating, you need to slap yourself in the face. You are a 13-year-old kid. Your body is changing. All sorts of things are happening. Forget about the calories you're eating. If you enjoy weight training, go and weight train, but don't starve yourself. That will make you stupid, and it's going to make you and I fall out, and you don't want to do that. Stop worrying about your calories. Mayzilla, hello. Tips for instructors teaching back. Okay. Tips for instructors teaching back. Do you mean back to back? There aren't many tips. It's your job. Stay hydrated, eat plenty of food, and make sure that your own training kind of works around what you have to do with your work. Otherwise, you're going to put yourself in a really nasty little hole that you can't get out of. Intense classes 4 times a week. Oh Christ, I thought you were going to tell me that you were teaching, like 6 classes a day back to back. 4 classes a week, intense classes a week, woman up is what I'm going to say. Grow a pair or grow a vagina. Yes. 4 classes a week. Just make your training fit in with that. You may have to reprogram your own weight training sessions, but that's not the end of the world at all. Republica, what's your opinion of F45 training versus UP? I'm in LA and considering a change. It depends what you want, Republica. If you're following us, you know what we're about. You know that we're about serious training. We are about results first and foremost. We are not a gimmick, we are not a trend, we are not a fashion. You get in, you train hard, you get out, you learn how to get absolutely shredded or jacked or lean or toned or whatever it is you want. The decision ultimately is yours, you know. The fact is, if you are looking at something like F45 and you're thinking, which one do I do? Chances are you don't want to do that one, because if you did, you'd have already done it. Feed your curiosity and go and see our guys in UPLA, especially if you genuinely want a transformation. This is what we do, it's what we're the best in the world at, that is undisputed. No, 4 days a week, 4 classes a day. Then Jen, you just kind of need to do what you can. If you're training 4 classes a day, I would suggest not training yourself at all, because that's massively overtraining. You're in one of those situations there, Jen, where there's not really much you can do. You either stop teaching the classes or you kind of let go of body composition goals, because you're just not going to be able to recover from that. Unfortunately, it's not the answer you wanted. You wanted some magical miracle solution. The solution is to stop teaching so many classes. Jazzman, sorry, missed about the protein bars. I will summarize Jazzman rather than go through it again. You can watch it again on YouTube. No. Protein bars, no. Right, we've caught up with the questions. So I'm having another drink of water and I'm going to try and get this fly wherever it's gone. I hope it's died. A summary of a few things. Number 1, today, supplements. Don't try to save money on supplements. By saving money on supplements, you are often buying useless supplements and you are going to get nowhere. Point number 2, the book on meal planning, the second book in our 4-book series has come out. It's now available on Amazon. You can hit the link in our bio, click on any of the book pictures and it will take you straight to that link so you can purchase. Excuse me. Number 3, our whey protein supplement has now come out. We had pea protein before, we now have our whey protein supplement. That is available in most of the countries that we have gyms in. So again, go to upfitness.com and check that one out. Finally, the Live Up Online plans, which you are now probably going to start seeing some immense transformations for. Get on over to Live Up Online and you will see, basically it's the second page of mine where we are going to start rolling out a few of the transformations so you can see some bits and bobs. You'll see a lot of stuff going on in the stories. Or go to my profile, Elliot Upton, you can see the results that are coming in from now. They are coming in thick and fast. We have some people on here now. Anyone right now who is curious as to what the Live Up program is and what the people genuinely say about it who are doing it, feel free to ask the question here. If we have any of our guys or girls in, I'm sure they will back me up and say that it is literally the best program on the planet and it's only £50 per month. Are you able to book in for a session at UP Manchester, or do you have to sign up for an extended period? Andrew Forfar, you can contact them, and if they have availability, I'm sure they will do a single session for you. Go to upfitness.com and select the Manchester location. It will give you contact details to be able to go in there and check that out. My home gym only has upper and lower pulleys. Which position should I use for face pulls? I would suggest probably using the lower pulleys, MJ Rich, but take a few steps back. You know, step back as far as you can so you're pulling as horizontally as possible. Do you add in drop sets during a 12-week transformation? If so, when is the best thing to bring them in, and does the intensity change throughout? Fitness Wild, it depends on the client. If we are confident that the client can lift safely and well, the client is at that stage of a transformation, we know that they are structurally safe, and we know that they are responsible, then yes, potentially we can add in drop sets. But if not, we tend to keep it really simple. The intensity changes throughout, again, based on what somebody needs. It will potentially be a weight increase, a basic, very linear progression weight increase. Sometimes it can be a rep increase. For instance, what I do on the Live Up Online programs is I just ask them simply to add an extra rep a week and try to constantly go up in weight. Simplest way. Now we have some really advanced trainees, people like Chris Arpino, who's actually just commented below this post, who potentially, as he goes into his final phase very soon, is going to be asked to do things like drop sets, because I know he's doing things right, I know he's recovering, I know he's eating, I know he's being compliant. However, a lot of other people don't. It's very much down to the client on this one. Chris Arpino, do live UP in capitals. Best £50 I've ever spent, hands down. And there you have it, folks. Go to upfitness.com and go into the online training section. Look at Live Up Online for men, Live Up Online for women. £50 per month for literally the best fat loss and muscle building transformation program on the planet. One for men, one for women. So get on over there. We do something for everybody. Bazilla just did a celebratory photo shoot Kensington to Mark Honesty year working with my PT at UP City. Best year of my life. Cannot recommend UP enough. What a statement that is. That is awesome. Thank you, Mezilla. I'm glad to hear that. How did it go? Were you nervous? How are you feeling about it? Photo shoots can be very, very nerve-wracking if it's the first thing you do. So give us a shout and let us know how that went. I am Tijo. Definitely loving the Live Up program. Week 5 and cannot believe the progress already. Boom, and another one. You see, it's no coincidence that everybody comes on. They did the same last week. 100% of people are coming on and saying they love this program. Why? Because it works. Why? Because we've taken into account everything that could happen further down the line and planned for it in the initial program. It's genius, if I do say so myself. I'm Marfin, Live Up is class. Anyone on the fence about it, just go for it. Constant support and learning, awesome. And this again is another factor that I've always tried to instill in a lot of people. Obviously it's getting quite, I have to admit myself, as you can see, I've got bags under my eyes, I'm tired. Trying to answer as many people, the bigger the group gets within the support network, the forums on there. It's difficult for me to keep educating everybody, but I'm always going to endeavour to do it. What's amazing about people like I'm Tijo, Emar, do you know, every single time I get your check-in, Emir, I never know how to say your name. I never know. And Chris they are now helping other people who come into the forum. And this is what is so special about it, is that we've built a community online there where every single person in there is trying to get the best out of everybody else. Now, these are people who potentially have never met. I'm sure they all will meet when we start running the Big Live Up events. However, these are people all over the world, tens of thousands of miles apart, who have each other's back like their brother and sister. And this is what I love about the Live Up program. It's absolutely awesome. So thank you guys for chiming in. Love it. Leanne, where do I sign up for Live Up? Sorry, I missed it. Leanne, if you go to upfitness.com, our website, you can hit the link in the bio, and a lot of the links there will take you to it. Go onto upfitness.com, go to the online training tab just up at the top there. Click that, and just below that, the arrow next to it, you will see Live Up Online for Women. That's the one you want to be hitting. You can sign up right now. Crafty Diver Girl, love Live Up, and the support is fabulous. Do it in capital letters. Another one. Thank you. You see, it's not just me giving you the sales spiel. These are the people who have done it. They haven't been paid to do any of this. They're just enjoying it, and they're getting re-educated on how to do things right. See how buzzing I get off this thing? This is why I work such long hours for it. I love it, and I love you guys. Currently set to start UP Fitness Manchester on the 21st. How long before the start date does your PT get in contact? Depends on the PT. What date are we now? I don't even know what date we are. Like the 8th, something like that. They'll be in touch probably within the week before. Do you use bioprinting? Personally, I do not know, but we have our own 16-site body fat measuring system that the one-to-one coaches will use in all of the gyms across the world. I don't use it myself. But that is something that they will all use. It's not quite bioprint, but it's inspired by something like that. EMA, right, got it. Now I know, because that annoys, do you know, even when I do your check-ins, every single time I do your check-ins, I sit there and I say your name over to myself about 3 or 4 times trying to figure it out, and it just doesn't work. EMA, got it. The end of the day, 9 weeks of Live Up has rendered more results than 10 years of training in ignorance. What a statement that is. You hear that? I'm going to say that again for everybody. The end of the day, 9 weeks of Live Up has rendered more results than 10 years of training in ignorance. Love that. Mozilla, photo shoot was great. Simon Howard put me at ease. Great gym to shoot in. Fantastic fun. My confidence is through the roof, and I want to do another shoot sometime with more gains. I love it. When you get people who are starting to get that itch for it, they start to get the fitness fever. It's absolutely awesome. Amazing, amazing, amazing job. Very well done. Love that. Make sure you let us know when you're going to do the other shoot, and let me know when the pictures are up as well. Tag me in them when you post them. I'd love to see that. If you post them, of course. Ethan Gallagher, what's up? Another drink. I have to fly. I've got to leave my house tomorrow morning at 4:30 a.m. It's currently about 9:45 here in Marbella. I've got to leave at 4:30 a.m. I still haven't packed to go to London. You may hear my tumble dryer working in the background. Typical bloke leaving is that I've left everything to the last minute. I've had a mental week. I am exhausted. I just want to sleep. Every time I go with low carb, high fat, experience erectile dysfunction. Is this normal? It concerns me a lot. Is clogging my arteries or what? No, Bobby Pass, what's possibly happening is that cortisol is getting punched right up nice and high. Because you don't have any insulin circulating in your system, your stress hormones could be going up through the roof. Now, this could result in a lack of erections, essentially, because cortisol it steals a lot of hormones that are used for other things, okay? Partially getting a boner. Secondly, you may not be taking in enough calories overall, so hormonally you're kind of screwed up and your testosterone could be plummeting. So that's also something that's very, very much worth looking into. Don't dump your calories too low and have at least some carbs in there to help minimize circulating cortisol. Leanne Hinton, thank you for signing up now. No problem, Leanne. I will see you in the forums when you're done. There's a couple of pics are up. I have to choose 10 out of over 200 amazing shots. Awesome, that's a lot of shots. Well, as I say, tag me in them. I want to see them. All right, come on, give me these questions. I've got a funny feeling, I don't know what time we are on, but I've got a feeling in the next 5 minutes or so that Instagram is probably going to give me my 2-minute warning, so let's see. When we hit that 2-minute warning, we're gonna go for quick fire questions. You're gonna have to ask them quick, I'm gonna answer them quick. So if you wanna get a lot of information on something, I suggest you ask it now. Otherwise, you're gonna get glanced across as fast as I can in about 90 seconds before I have to say goodbye. Start packing to go to London tomorrow. What's in my water? In my water, that is just branched chain amino acids from training just before this. I didn't finish it, so I'm finishing it now while I can. Fitness Wild, would you recommend putting clients through low carb initially to sort out insulin sensitivity? Yes, Fitness Wild, absolutely. One of the good things about a low carb bootcamp style start, number one is it teaches them some dietary compliance. Number two, doing that's kind of the hardest part of a transformation, and you may as well do the hardest part when they're most motivated to change because they're going to get better compliance. Then finally, it's going to help bring down inflammation. It is going to increase insulin sensitivity. For those of you who don't know what insulin sensitivity is, it basically means, if we break it down and summarize it, is it teaches your body how to use sugar better. It uses them to fuel muscles rather than to be stored as fat. And this is why a low carb bootcamp is very, very useful. Where can I get a good calorie calculator to determine my calorie needs for deficit surplus? There's lots on Google, it's a minefield, there's lots of variants. Stu, to give you a really, really easy one on this, anyone out there who is interested in this, to break it down, for me, I basically use the lower limit formula. What I've always done with my clients, and anyone who knows me knows that I get great results out of my clients. If you're a man, take your weight and times it by 24. If you're a female, take your weight and times it by 22. Okay, write that down. If you're a male, times your weight by 24. If you're a female, times your weight by 22. That is the lowest you ever want to take your calories. Okay, so you have a choice. You either start there and gradually work them up, or you add to that about 500 or 600 calories and you start there and work it down. That's not a formula that you're going to find anywhere. It's not a try tested. This is something that I've just done for about 10 years. It's almost always worked. Almost always worked. So, a good, easy, simple one rather than pissing around with a calculator for 5 minutes trying to work stuff out. Whose idea was it to put a dead mill sprints after lower body on live UP? It was mine. It's my program. Enjoy it. Yeah. Do you recommend oatmeal at night after a training day? Potentially yes, if it fits within the calories and carbs that you've set out, then yes, absolutely, it's a great thing to have in the evening. Started carb cycling but had low energy in the gym. Any ideas? You may be too low calorie. Try it, see it. Excuse me. I started at UP Cheshire, 10 kilograms down in 8 weeks. When's the next Barbaya 2-day training camp? P7. If you go to, I believe it's mid-October, I think. Go to upfitness.com, go to the events section, and it should be in there. Do you need to count calories and live up? No, you absolutely do not need to count calories. Now, I will break that one down for you and tell you the reason why. What Live Up essentially is a program that I wrote about 3.5 years ago now. And I went and sat in a house in Brighton over Christmas for 3 weeks on my own. And I went through every program that I'd written for the previous 10 odd years. No, not even that. It'll be about 8 years back then, 7-8 years. Took all of the ones that got the best transformations and tried to figure out what was unique about them. Why were they better than the others? I looked through them and then put the training program together. Then I looked at the diets that I'd written for all of these people and I looked for the problems. What happened to each one of them and why did we have problems along the way? Live Up kind of planned all of that out of the way. You know, I tried to look ahead of myself 12 weeks and say, what is every single possible variable that could go wrong here? Now, what I tend to find is that with the fitness industry, it's an amazing place for many reasons. It's a very dark place for many reasons, but to keep it simple and stay on point, that most people come into the fitness industry from some form of eating disorder. It could be being overweight, it could be being obese, it could be anorexia, bulimia, whatever. They come from having a very, very poor relationship with food, get into the fitness industry, start tracking their calories and get really, 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 really obsessed with their food. It is not a good thing. It's not a way to live. It causes anxiety, it causes stress. Now, what I wanted to do with the Live Up program was take the anxiety and stress out of dieting, because that's the biggest limiting factor. You know, the emotional connection to dieting is always the strongest motivator for screwing up. Okay, oh, I felt like this, I felt like that, I felt like this, I felt like that, that's why I cheated. What I wanted to do with Live Up is stop people from feeling like that. And one of the ways I did that was to teach them how to let go of tracking their food. If you let go of tracking your food, you have flexibility. You understand that it isn't the be all and end all, and you don't have to account for every single half a gram of rice. So no, answer to your question, short answer to your question without me gibbering on even more is no, it is not about calorie tracking. Yes, I do ask you to weigh certain foods, i.e. your protein intake. Everything else is kind of casually measured. I'll ask on this instead of the forum. Ema. Yeah. I've been so fatigued, no real appetite ever since yesterday morning. I have really no energy to train. Is it okay to just keep my steps until it passes? I would suggest dropping your steps actually and getting into a short session as opposed to that, because it could be a cortisol issue. You could be very, very stressed and overtired. So I would probably not. Get more sleep, go to bed now, get more sleep and drop your steps down. Can you do one of your amazing Insta videos on the correct way to dip and push up? Thanks. Yes, I may have to do some bodyweight stuff because I'm going to be in a hotel for the next few days. So I'll try and do some bodyweight movements. Tips for training for hypertrophy early in the morning before work. Sam, what do you need to know? What do you need to know? Training for hypertrophy is training for hypertrophy. It doesn't matter what time of day you do it. Break that down a little bit for me, mate. What do you need to know? How often do transformation clients do conditioning? Depends on how much fat they have to lose and how long they have given us to get them to lose it. A really, really good rule of thumb for most people, if you want to get the most out of your training and your conditioning, is do 10 minutes at the end of every session. If you can do that, you'll be amazed at the effect. Cumulatively, let's say you're training 3 to 4 hours per week. If you're doing 10 minutes at the end of every session, that's 30 to 40 minutes worth of conditioning every week. That's very, very, very effective. Very effective. Billy Bob, to increase fats on low carb days, yes, that could potentially be the solution. Always have a dip of energy between 2 and 4 p.m. Is there something I could do? Depends what you're having before that. Are you training in the afternoon and then having a big dump of carbs? If not, have a scoop of peanut butter. It will give you a little bit of a boost and make sure you're staying hydrated. Jashman, thoughts on if it fits your macros? If it fits your macros is for a word that I can't say on here because it's bad language and I promise not to swear too much. If it fits your macros, it's for idiots. Ema, no problem. No problem, Fitness Wild, you're welcome. Lorraine, was that you're training in the afternoon and then you're eating a big dump of carbs, Lorraine? If so, you may not be dealing with insulin as well as you would hope because you're having a crash. It may be worth splitting that carb portion into 2 if that is the case. Same applies to any of you out there. If you suddenly get very lethargic and sluggish after a dose of carbs, it may be that your body's not using them all the way it should be. So split that dose up and spread it over a couple of feeding opportunities if you can. Alright, Sam, are you early morning training for hypertrophy? Should I get food in me before I train? If so, what type of food? Yes, absolutely, Sam. I don't believe anybody should be training on an empty stomach. Weight training, certainly. If you're doing cardio intervals or cardio, steady state cardio, I've got no problem with it. Just make sure you have some branched chain amino acids in a 1.5 litre bottle of water, something like our Amplify supplement, and that will suffice. However, if you're weight training, don't weight train fasted. Easiest thing in the morning, realistically, is probably going to be eggs. What I've been having in the morning recently, I've had some real gut problems. And my body isn't digesting food quite so easily, so I've been having 4 eggs scrambled with a spoonful of pesto. And that's been it's easy for my body to digest first thing in the morning, so that'd be a really good start. It's going to give you about 20 grams of protein and some fats to give you a quick boost in energy. You can add some coconut oil to that as well, it'll give you a little bit of a boost. Grip strength is lacking. Do you have any effective ways to optimize this? Farmers walks are great for grip strength, Bobby. Spend a bit of time doing farmers walks. People say, oh, do deadlifts to increase your grip strength, blah, 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 blah. don't bother. Do deadlifts to deadlift. Do deadlifts and load them up so that you can work your back, your legs, your whole kinetic chain. If you want to learn how to grip, just hold something. Farmer's walks are a really good way of doing that whilst getting some more out of it. Very, very metabolic. It's going to help you to burn fat. It's going to teach your body how to be neurally strong throughout the entire chain. Sam Hughes, you are welcome. Harry, I've just signed up for UP Live. I'm a big guy at the moment, just telling me to do HIIT running. I don't think that's sensible at the moment. Is there another HIIT I can do until the weight comes down? Absolutely, Harry. Yes, there is 100%. If you actually read the program, I believe it should say, if it was translated properly from my instructions, I will have to double check on that though, that it says you can also do strongman style training or rowing or anything like that. It just says that sprints are the preferred way of dropping body fat fast. But yes, of course, you can do any other variation. Make sure you get onto the forum, the Facebook forum for the Live Up Online program, and ask questions on there as well, because obviously we've got myself in there every single day, and all of the other guys and girls that have been doing it are also over there, so they'll be able to answer. But yeah, of course you can do anything, so long as it's intense enough. Was my question classed as swearing? You missed mine. I don't believe so, Rich. You'll have to ask it again so I can see it. Would you eat your eggs at 5 a.m. then straight out the door for the gym? Yeah. I personally, I can't train hungry. I can't concentrate. I can't do anything hungry for that matter. That's why I'm a little bit fat. I can't concentrate if I'm hungry at all. My brain just shuts down. Pesto and eggs, any reason other than taste? Just the extra fats for me. It's a nice way of adding some taste to something and getting the fats in. I've requested access but not granted yet after 2 days. Harry, then you may not have filled in the questions that you were supposed to fill in, because I personally approve access. So if you've answered the questions correctly and you've filled in your PAR-Q, if you have submitted your PAR-Q, then you will be accepted. If you have not done that, you will not be accepted. So just double check on that. How much water do you recommend to drink? You see, if you go back to the very beginning of this video, I've answered this question first because I have to answer it about 10 times at every single live Q&A. How much water do I recommend you drink? If you're a female, between 3 and 4 litres per day. If you are a male, between 4 and 6 litres per day. Lucianne, a typical 12-week body transformation program, female, goal, weight loss. What's the best percentage of cardio versus weight training ratio? I would say do 3 to 4 weight training sessions a week and about 2 cardio sessions a week. Should be about right. That way you're going to get recovery, you're going to improve circulation with the cardio, but you're not going to be overworking yourself too badly. Now, of course, you should still be active day to day. This is why on the Live Up Online program and a lot of our PT programs, we set a step goal, because you shouldn't be doing your training and then just going and sitting on the sofa. You know, 10 to 12,000 steps a day is about enough for everybody. We'll go back and look at the questions. No worries. Jack say, killing it, lad. Kapow. Good. Keep them coming, folks. Keep them coming. Instagram's going to kick me off fairly soon, so let's have them. Let's have these answers. Bring them in. Answers. I'll give the answers. You give the questions. How about that? That seems to be the arrangement that we've got here. Let's stick to it because it works. You're welcome, Lucianne. Not a problem. Not a problem at all. My throat is really, really dry and now I've run out of water. Come in, we've got 33 of you here. Surely someone's got a question. Anything other than eggs for breakfast? What did I have the day before yesterday? Day before yesterday I had 300 grams of steak and eggs. Day before that I had 200 grams of minced beef. Day before that I had some salmon left over from the night before. So for me, protein and fats, if you're super, super lean, i.e. you're sub 10% as a male, sub 14% as a female, then potentially you can add some carbs to breakfast, but for most people I would say no. Love that you put these Q&A sessions on YouTube. Please never quit that. Thanks for all your help. You're welcome, Bobby. Obviously, I know that a lot of people can't get here. It's one of those times, you know, some people are commuting, some people have other stuff. So I try to put them up on YouTube, basically so you guys can watch them while you're doing your cardio. It encourages you to do your cardio. Just sometimes it's very difficult with Spanish Wi-Fi or wherever I happen to be in the world at the time. It can take a long time to upload. So do just please bear with me on that. I try to get them up as fast as possible, but it can take time. Thoughts on fasting? My thoughts on fasting is don't do it, Rachie, especially if you're a female. It's not going to do you much good. Now, as I've said 2 times in this chat, fasting has medical uses. It can be good for certain conditions. However, from a body composition point of view, I highly recommend you do not do it. 2 minutes remaining. This means quick fire questions. I'm going to answer them really, really fast and it's going to be really exciting. 3rd week with Louis in Cheshire. It's working. He's a beast. Love him. Awesome, Jax. Glad you're enjoying it. Josh, 30,000. You're welcome. I can only do 2 strength training per week. Can I do 2 HIIT and 1 list outdoor? Why is it you can only do 2 strength training per week if you can get the time to do the others? If you can do another 3 sessions per week, you can only do 2 strength training. I'm calling bullshit on that. Get yourself a barbell and some dumbbells at home and do more strength training. Sorry, Mr. Beginning, thanks, no problem, Rachie, don't fast. You know, it works for some people, very, very few, and almost never does it work for women from an actual body composition and optimal health point of view. Eat more meals. I just have a protein shake pre-workout at 4 a.m, then oats, steak, egg whites, and a huge salad. That works for me. Booming. Certainly has worked for you. We're not going to disagree with that. Looking shredded. Best warm-up for a weight training session. Lucianne Mack. If you go to my YouTube channel, Elliot Upton, that's Elliot with 2 L's and 2 T's. Go to my YouTube channel and I load it up. It's in its raw form at the moment. We will edit into it a nice way. I've put up the mobilization drill that I use before my training sessions and give to all of my clients. So go over there and check that out. There's an easier answer to that question. Is it possible that you can do a warm-up video for upper body days? Bobby Pask, literally the answer that I just gave to Lucianne. Go over to YouTube, Elliot Upton, and check that one out. It is on there. Come on, 30 seconds. Quick fire questions, let's go, let's have them before I have to say goodbye. So I'm flying to London in about 7 hours time, so I've still got to pack, I've still got to do loads of stuff. 20 seconds, who's getting the last few questions in, let's have them. Remember, those of you who want to do the Live Up program, go to upfitness.com, go to the online training tab, hit the arrow just beside it, Live Up Online for men, Live Up Online for women. It's the #1 muscle building and fat loss transformation program on the planet right now. It's only £50 per week. 3, 2, 1, and we are out. What's the chances of that? It paused right at the very last second. Classic Spanish Wi-Fi. Anyway, YouTube, I'm glad that you were here to watch this. Hopefully you've just done some cardio. It's been of some use to you. Make sure you like it, share it, send it off to as many people as possible. We want to share these knowledge bombs and make sure that some of you are getting some better information in the fitness industry, because it's just become a massive sales pit. Everyone's just trying to sell you information, often misinformation. If you have any questions on anything else we've done, put them in the comments box below and I will endeavour to answer them as fast as I possibly can. Excuse me, clearing my throat. Anything else you've heard me talk about, the new supplements that we do, the whey protein, any other part of our supplements line is available over on upfitness.com. The new book is available on Amazon, as is the old book and the previous 2 books we have done. So get on over there, check all of them out. They are phenomenal. Live Up Online, the programs, the beach body plan for men or the bikini body plan for women, they are both available on the website upfitness.com. That is £50 per month for literally the #1 transformation program on the planet. You've just heard me say it. So get on over there, check everything out. I, as always, have been Elliot Upton. This has been Ultimate Performance. I'm glad you have been here to join me. I'm going to get my stuff together. I'm going to pack my bags and I'm going to fly to London. So I will see you tomorrow, next week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, whenever I will be back on. Come and follow my Instagram channel, Elliot Upton. Make sure you are following the @UPFitness Live Instagram channel and the Live Up Online Live Up Online channel. I'm going to stop ranting now and let you go. Goodbye.